Hi everyone, welcome back to another video, and today, of course, you can see by the title of the video, as I always have for some reason, this is a sort of first impressions of one that I picked up maybe five, 6 days ago. Now, anybody who sort of have watched me for a while know that I've always had a bit of a thing, a bad thing when it comes to clone fragrances. Dupes, clones, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to say that I've started to look at them more in a better light. Not all of them, of course, but you know, the sort of the better brands out there. Now you've got to remember, and this is the reason why I think I've always had a bit of a bias to sort of the either niche or whatever. The higher designers, not, and I really didn't like the dupes. It's because you got to remember that I'm from an era where back in the day, I'm talking, I started YouTube in 2012, not this channel, but I did start another channel. I had that for 5 years or so. Started with top 10 frags is what I used to be called. So you should just do top 10 videos. And I got pretty popular because of that. But anyway, I was into fragrances on a larger scale about 2010. So in 2010, started doing YouTube 2012, about 5-6 years after that, I quit for a few years and I come back. I think it was 2001, something like that. Excuse me. And you think back then, 2010s, maybe a bit before and all that, the cologne fragrances were in a real bad state. I mean, there wasn't a cologne fragrance out there that was any good. They were absolutely horrid. They were so cheap smelling and nasty, and they didn't perform. It's just awful things. Time has gone on, and we're coming to see now that these cologne fragrances nowadays, and then they have done for 5, 6, 7 years or so, they've come to know this, and they thought we better step our game up. We can still provide reasonably inexpensive fragrances, but of a higher quality. And of course, if it's a higher quality for a reasonable price, you're gonna sell more than if you make a fragrance dirt cheap but nobody buys it. And I think they've cottoned on to that, and let's say 5 to 10, between 5 and 10 years or so. And so I've been dabbling into some of the better brands, like Rasasi, like the fragrance you're going to see today. We're going to have a look at the Rayan, some of the Armaf Odyssey line. You know, that's sort of the more sort of generally better known and generally come out with better ingredient fragrances. Anyway, we're talking about this one today. This one is Hawas. You probably won't see it. Oh, there you go. Hawas. So you see it, Hawas Elixir by can't remember now. Rasasi, that's all. Now I've got a couple of others. I've got this one, Ice, and you've probably seen my video before. Absolutely amazing. You can tell how much I like this one. So fresh. It's beautiful stuff. Orange, bit of orange blossom. That's why I like it. This one, so I've been testing this one the last couple of days. Might not have been the best idea, seeing that we're in quite a high heat wave. I wore it one day, I put it on early in the morning when it was cooler, and I went 5-6 sprays as I always do, if not more. Come to around about midday, up to like 28-30 degrees, and I was like, oh dear, maybe this isn't a good one for the high heat. And all day I was suffering. I didn't want to wash it off because I was testing it, you know. But yeah, not recommended for a high heat. Anyway, this one. Now it's supposed to be a, I think it's a Jean Paul Gaultier Le Male Elixir clone. I don't know what that smells like. I have no real interest. But I saw this and everyone was raving on it, saying yeah, it's really close, and you know, and I think I got this like, I can't remember, it was about £30, something like that. And you get a good heavy bottle, lovely. I mean, the cap itself is pretty heavy. You know, good quality. You heard that, good quality. It smells of good quality. I'll give you that much. First, and the bottle is very, very good as well. So first impressions. Now, I say one day I wore it properly, and then the next couple of days I've just had a couple of sprays at the back of the hand and just see how it's going on. So no waiting on this one to mature in the bottle. This one it did a couple of weeks, and it opened up to how it is now. This one, I would say the very first spray I did, bit so-so, and then thereafter it was good to go, and it still is now. I've got the dry down the back of the hand. I've had it on for a fair few hours, and it has got a nice essential sort of smell to it. So what do I get out of this? When you first spray it, you get like a nice vanilla. This is in the air, so if you spray it in the air, you get a nice vanilla and a little bit of sort of slight woody backbone. At least this is what I get, and the same on the skin. This is when I first had it. Now when I spray it, I've had it a while, I've had some sprays out of it, you get that, but with a bit of spice as well, and that's what you get on the skin. So vanilla, bit of woods, bit of spice, and that's how it is for about half of its life. Now this is a good longevity on this, so at least 8 hours. So you get 3 or 4 hours of that. I would say 3 hours, and it starts drying into sort of the mid and towards the base. And what happens is, I would say the spice is toned down, but a slight tobacco comes up. Now the vanilla, the woods and the tobacco at this point are all equal, all thirds, 1/3 each one. Okay, so they're all balanced the same. Yeah, at the beginning I would say a little bit more of the vanilla with the woods and a bit of spice, then everything sort of levels off, the spice drops down and the sort of tobacco vibe comes up, and that's how it sort of sits until it's gone. And the longer it's on your skin, the more sort of sensual and even I would say a little bit sexy vibe going in. It smells like very sort of vanilla and sweet and all that at the beginning, and as it goes on, a little bit of the sweetness dies off. Still a sweet scent, don't get me wrong, but everything blends together better than the sort of first half of the fragrance, and comes a little more alluring. Now, excuse me. This is the only thing I've got in the collection I could really sort of compare it to. It's not the same, but it's similar. And this is 24 gold. Okay, it's 2 gold. Yeah, 24 gold. So 24 gold is vanilla, a very rich vanilla, richer vanilla than this. This has got a nice vanilla, but this is very rich, thick, sort of vanilla, with a strong woods backing it up. Predominantly sort of 70-80% vanilla, but with like a woody backbone. This has that, but not as strong. This is extremely strong, and this is strong. But what this doesn't have, so if you got this and you know what this smells like, think about a tobacco-like note mixing in with the vanilla and the woods. So if this had the, it's got the vanilla and the woods, if this had a tobacco with it and it was sort of equal throughout, you'd get this. It's not the same right here as I'm showing you, but it's the only real thing I can compare it to. This has got vanilla and woods in a strong way, this has got vanilla and woods in a strong way, but as it dies down, it adds that tobacco. And it will remind you of it. Like if you have had this or you smelt this and you've got the dry down on here, say 3 or 4 hours into it, You will get that sort of 24-hour vibe, but with this lovely, again, like seductive sort of tobacco that goes through it. Very nice longevity and projection, as with a lot of these dupes now. They try their best to give you longevity and projection, and this one's no exception. You can go light on this. Like I said, I wore this in the high heat and I would not recommend it, and I wear all sorts of things in the heat. I'm not doing that again. It was way too cloying. So it's strong. I would say this is really good for just the winter time or a night out. Not a hot summer night, still a bit too much. But 3 seasons, yeah, three seasons out the 4. Night time, going out, smelling good, smelling nice and sweet vanilla with an alluring tobacco and a manly woods. Again, with a good bit of sweetness. So I wouldn't say it was a particularly youthful scent, but I wouldn't say it was like, it's not old manish with that tobacco or anything like that. It's a good sort of balance in the middle. 25 and up, I would say is really a good spot for this. I don't know if that's the same thing with the Jean-Paul Gaultier version, or the original version I should say. I don't know, but that's how this one's coming off. Maybe this one's coming off slightly more mature, I don't know. Maybe the Jean-Paul Gaultier is 18 to 30, this one's like maybe 25 upwards. I'd guess, because I know Jean-Paul Gaultier generally go for the younger crowd, sweetness, all that sort of thing, like Rabandas. But this one doesn't smell quite as youthful, but still got a youthful edge with the sweetness and vanilla and stuff. So that's my first impression, and I think this is going to be even better with its projection and smell and everything as it matures even more in the bottle. I don't think it really needs it. It seems to be performing well and smelling as it should. But you know what it's like as you get down the bottle, everything just gets better and better and better, especially these clone fragrances. So first impressions, I actually quite like it. It does, I mean, if I've got this, I wouldn't say it was redundant, because it's got a different side to it, a bit of tobacco and an alluring edge, just like this one has, but it hasn't got the tobacco in it. So do I need both? Not necessarily, but again there is a little difference. You get a bit of that tobacco, which actually it gives it a little more complexity compared to the 24 Gold. I would say the 24 Gold is a little more seductive. It's just got that kind of like, oh my god, that vanilla. This one, it's more prominent with the vanilla is what I'm trying to say. So if you're a vanilla fan and you really want something like punch in your face, like just some succulent vanilla, go with the 24. But if you want something that's nicely balanced with a nice sweet vanilla, a bit of manly woods in there, tobacco, like a nice smooth tobacco, giving it a bit of complexity, a little bit of difference in there, then yeah, give this one a go. I mean, it's under £40 and you've got a big, nice, chunky, heavy bottle. You hit somebody around the head, not that you should, you hit somebody around your head with this, it's gonna hurt. You know, it's got that kind of weight to it. It really is quite heavy bottles. If you've ever picked up one of these bottles, you know what I mean by the weight of these. The juice is really good quality. For the money, under £40 is a steal, and I think I'm more of like a fresh, clean kind of scent type of person. I like my citruses, I like my soapy, I like my clean green stuffy aquatics, all that. You know, you've got to have some fragrances like this around. I haven't got many, but you do need some like this around for the winter. And this is a good option. If you haven't got a lot of money, or you don't like spending a lot of money on fragrances, like I don't like spending high end. I'm not paying £200 a bottle for something. I just don't see the value in it. It's a hobby for me, it's an interest. It's not something I want to pile a bunch of money in. You know, just not. But if you're looking for something for winter that's going to last you a long time, you don't need many sprays, 3 or 4 sprays max, so it's going to last you a long time. It's going to project. You're going to smell good. You're going to get compliments. It's not, if you want something for the winter, you know, you like a bit of vanilla tobacco kind of thing. It's recommended. It really is. And this isn't a review. This is just my first impressions, and this is I'm really impressed with it. You know, it's decent. So yeah, first impressions. Actually, I think this is pretty good, and you're probably going to see more clone fragrances that I'm going to pick up, because I would say the mid-tier designers are junk now. Most of them are just junk. The quality isn't as good. The thing, like even some of the higher quality stuff, like I went to get Paco Rabanne 1 million. God, that don't smell like it used to. I can't get out of my head what it used to smell like when it first came out. That's the problem. Then I tried Chanel Allure Homme. God, that's weak. I've watered that down. Then I tried Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Male, the original. God, that's smelling a bit cheap and synthetic now. You know, compared to what it was. They've done something to it. It still smells like it, but quality is like, phew. So I was like, you know what? All these ones I really loved back in the day, a lot of them are junk now, you know. So I thought, you know, I'm going to try some of these, and they've really surprised me. So they've changed my mind. But then, yeah, like I said, I'm coming from an era where clones were junk. But the latest ones, I've had 3, 4, 5 now. They've all been good. I have done my research. What I think I'm going to like, what they're trying to smell like, and I think, well, I know I'm going to like that. Those are the ones I'm picking up. So you're probably going to see more of me in the future. So stop rambling, Carlos, let's get on with it. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, it really helped me out. I recommend this fragrance. Let me know in the comment section if you've tried it, you've not tried it. If my video inspires you to give it a go, get a sample, something like that, let me know in the comment section. I'll answer if I can. So thank you, and I'll see you again soon on the next video.